My name is Konrad Konnoth. A company is called Konnexio. We're an automation company building factory automation equipment. Typically, a lot of the parts, automotive manufacturers, they would use our machinery to make, of course, their products. Mm-hmm. We're very good in the high volume production. So typically, when we're getting into annual volumes of 1 million, 2 million, that's really where our machinery starts becoming really more feasible to implement.
1 million, 2 million parts per
year?
Yeah,
typically on an annual basis, so to say.
What would be an example part?
We've done a lot of different areas of parts, like companies in London would be like Brose or London Automotive on the automotive side, and then even companies like Trudel, for example, on the medical device side. Mm-hmm. So typical products are like door panels, assemblies, motor assemblies, all kind of small part assemblies that need to be for automotive components.
Great. I think we answered question number 2 there. What does your company do? If London could do one thing to improve the business climate for you, what would it be? Yeah,
so we are in a advanced manufacturing, what we would consider it, especially for our company. We've done a lot of innovation, and I find London is a great place to be. But from an advanced manufacturing point of view, I think there's a few areas that could be done better. Mm-hmm. Specifically in the funding side of it, we do a lot of innovation. We do a lot of R&D, product mm-hmm. development. Mm-hmm. Besides just building the custom machines, we are developing our own products. But I find we only can put so much money of our own into it. We're a small company. Would be great to have some funding and some support in that area. That would be really tremendous.
And do you use, or has your company used things like IRAP, and there's the NRC has some things? Have you tapped into any of those types of resources? Or?
Yeah, we look a lot into different funding opportunities. IRAP, we've always had our little bit of issues with them. They never really liked our type of product innovation. They mm-hmm. thought it was custom built, but it's not really custom built. And but then we get a lot of other things like SHRED. We claim a lot of SHRED. We claim a lot of other funding applications, NSERC, different funding opportunities that we have. Yeah.
Cool. What would you say is one advantage that London has over another community? Or another way of asking that question is, why did you choose to build your business here in London?
Well, I mean, definitely I think that it's the university and college that we have here in town bringing tremendous talent here. Mm-hmm. That's really great for us. And there are not that many tech companies in our space anyways that do advanced manufacturing. Mm-hmm. So we find we really have great opportunities to work with them. We use a lot of interns. We use a lot of graduate students that come to us and work with us. That really is a tremendous opportunity for us to have that there. Okay. So that's kind of one of the things that I really, really like. If you go to another space like Toronto or Kitchener, it's much more crowded. Mm-hmm. There's great talent there too, don't get me wrong. But of course, there's much more companies competing for it, where we are, at least in our space, there are not as many in the advanced manufacturing.
Cool. Have you used any of Techalliance services, and if so, which ones have benefited you?
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. Tremendous. We actually been a member since 2003. Mm-hmm. We started a company in 2003, and we've been a member ever since. Actually, we were a member before that with my previous companies I worked for, the London High Tech Association, or whatever it was called.
Yeah, it was
something like that, right?
There's a couple of different ones, yeah.
And we were part of that, and then when it merged into Techalliance, then we were all part of Techalliance, and we kept in that. So we have used a lot of their services, a lot of their programs that we used, Entrepreneur 1.0, a lot of the sales revenue, or revenue university, I think it's called. Mm-hmm. A lot of the other programs that they've been offering in terms of getting more training, getting more educated on the entrepreneur side of it. Mm-hmm. So we've done a lot of those kind of programs. And of course, for me, being in a small environment, a small business environment, it's always great to have the opportunity to network with other people. Have people like you to meet them and chat with them and get opportunities to kind of find out exactly how to run business. Typically, we have the same kind of problems, and it's a tremendous great resource to actually share those ideas and to kind of grow your business.
It is something I've found that even across different industry types, there's some common themes. Yeah.
We are facing the same problems. Yeah. And it helps sometimes to bounce those ideas off. And actually, one time we had a very close-knit group, actually a Techalliance group, that we all kind of together were sharing ideas and helping each other in the business. I mean, that was at the time was really great. That really helped a lot at the time for growing the business.
Have you used any of the other entrepreneur sports in the city, like LEDC, Small Business Center, Pillar, Western, Fanshawe, those groups?
Yeah, of course.
Anyone stand up?
I mean, LEDC, it goes even as far back as Steve Glickman back in the days when he was still around.
Yes.
But yeah, we've been always engaged with LEDC. They help us in many different areas, even with customer contact and bring us into different spaces in the city. Out of the Small Business Center, I think in the very beginning when I started my business, not knowing how to even get going, I think I did a course with the Small Business Center to help me understand, what I'm getting into. And so all these things, the services we have been definitely been using and being engaged in the community.
Great. Are you coming to any Tech Week activities? And if so, are there any events that you're looking forward to in particular this year?
Unfortunately, I will not be able to make it this year. Yeah. We have a trade show, which is in our space, the Automate in Chicago, which is in North America actually the biggest trade show for automation. Everybody's going to be there, lots of our customers, and that is exactly next week on April 8th for the whole week, basically. So unfortunately, it coincides this year exactly with that trade show, so I cannot be there. But I really will miss it.
Have you been to previous years?
Yes, I've been to
what's an event that you can recall coming to?
Can't really remember exactly the exact events, but I usually enjoy the networking the most because it's you gain the most aspects when you actually speak to people and kind of meet with them, and so a lot of those networking events I've been to.
Cool. I lost my thing. Do you think it's important for the technology community in London to connect? Why or why not?
I wish we would do more of it, actually. I think it's very important because, we all have areas of expertise, but we all have areas that we probably don't are the specialists in, and we don't always know who's doing what and how to connect with them, and the synergies are very valuable to have those. And to have this opportunity to speak to people and understand what they are really good at and to share and work together on those areas, that would be just fantastic. And that's why I think it's more important to do that. And Techalliance is a great aspect of doing that already. And they are trying to promote advanced manufacturing more and more as well. And I hope that's going to be growing a little bit more as well. But I wish there would be more those kind of people, those kind of organizations in the advanced manufacturing as well.
So, one of the things you mentioned, Techalliance merging, it was the High Tech Association,
the venture group,
the advanced manufacturing, and the biomed. I can't remember what the biomed was called, but it was sort of an interesting idea to bring those three groups together, because we're more in high tech, you're in manufacturing, advanced manufacturing, but yet there's still, as you said, there's common business challenges that you come across. I was
actually quite impressed the other day. I went one of the life sciences events, which is of course not necessarily my space, but I was really, really impressed. The talent and the newcomers and new companies in the city that are forming now, and it's tremendous. And even though we're not in not in the biotech area, but it's still sometimes some of the areas that they're doing still applies to what we could use as well. So.
Cool. What's one thing you'd like viewers to know about you and or your company?
Oh, wow. We like I said before, we started about 15 years ago, and back then I pretty much had the exact same vision of automation industry and of Konnexio and of adopt our product basically. And just about now we're ready to actually have that product. So either I'm very, very slow or just very stubborn. I'm not sure.
Both could be true.
Exactly. But as we're getting now to the space where actually we now have actually a product that actually fits very well with that kind of manufacturing space, where we're moving now away from the custom build kind of a one-off kind of a type machinery to more like a standard platform. Adopter really is a platform of automation. And it allows us now to actually get more into commercialization of the product, more scaling it up, more into optimization, and more in batch production. So now we're going to get into a different phase of the company where we're getting away from just machine building kind of a thing to more running actually a business that actually can scale up into a different area.
I think you touched on something that's maybe a universal truth with businesses is that it takes 20 years to build an overnight success, but
exactly. I mean, you always, when you first, I mean, if anybody would have told me it would take me 15 years or 12 years, whatever it was, till we had the product more or less ready, I would have said, no way, I'm not sure I can do that long. But it always takes longer than you think. It always takes longer. But it was still very, very interesting ride. I mean, to develop this and now seeing it, how it works and so on, is quite satisfying, actually.
Well, I don't have any more official questions, but is there anything I should have asked you about either the tech community or London or your business that I should have, that you'd be remiss if I didn't have the opportunity to?
No, I think it was really great, but I mean, I hope the Techalliance, the Tech Week was really good next week, and I hope a lot of people will come. I know a lot of people will come and we'll meet, and I'm looking forward to speaking to a lot of you and your colleagues afterwards.
Yeah.
And finding a way what
I love
came out of it.
The Techcellence Awards is, again, one of those opportunities to celebrate. Sometimes there's companies, I've been here, I'm a member since 2003 as well, and just still you come across these companies that you haven't heard of or don't know as well. So that's
there's
certainly
always
one
new
of my
companies
favorite.
coming up, so it's good to see what's happening in the community.
All